his body. He was speaking it, man.
Yeah,
from beginning.
Yeah, it shows
From
you how.
Genesis all the way to Revelation, man.
Yeah, Colin, because when the guy opened the book, there was nothing in there. It was Braille.
Exactly.
Because he was blind.
Because he was walking by faith.
Walking by faith. And you see the things he got into? He got into all-out gun war.
And he was able to dodge bullets. Not being able to see it, but to just, hear it, and to have faith that if I move this way, that bullet is gonna,
Yeah, man, you have to resolve, man. Resolve. You have to have the utmost resolve.
That's right.
If you don't have that, that's the difference between life and death.
Right.
Really falling out and staying into the truth.
That's right. And it says,
what verse you on?
verse 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
2?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
Salakia.
Chapter 2?
Chapter 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
chapter 3,
Yeah,
verse 5. Okay,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
Just go down to 13.
Okay, come.
Yeah.
It says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Lord Yahweh Bashimashai proved them and found them worthy for himself.
Yeah, man, and you know what that includes? Like we started off with spiritual powers, man. Everything that we're going through right now, all the way up to the end, and the end of this kingdom and on to death, we're gonna come back with spiritual powers, man.
Yeah. That's
Bodies,
exactly what it's all about.
Exactly, man. Because that's what it is. Because when we come back, we're gonna have bodies. We're not gonna be in these bodies. We're gonna have tall statures, strong statures, like Thano type bodies, man.
Yeah, and like for example, right, like when we eat, because we're still gonna be in the flesh, right? But we're gonna have that extraterrestrial bodies, right? When we eat, it's just gonna be for our own enjoyment. It's not gonna be like we need it to survive. You know what I mean?
Not like now where if you don't eat, you're messed up.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
and
100%.
right, and so when we do these things, it's because we want to.
Yep.
Right? When we
Yeah.
want to drink wine, and feel a little tipsy, it's because we want to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we need to do these things, man.
Right.
Because our body is going to be pure energy.
Yeah, self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient bodies, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And it says, for the Lord Yahweh Bashimashai proved them and found them worthy for himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering.
That's right, man. You ever go buy a diamond for your woman and you see her eyes twinkle, all she's doing is seeing the end result. She doesn't see how that diamond became that shiny.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I was thinking about something. It was a funny thing, and it's very true. Women, this is kind of like on a side topic, but it actually goes in correlate with the scriptures. Actually, you get hold that and get Isaiah, I think it's chapter 4. It talks about 7 women shall pass a man.
Yeah.
Because because right now we're that diamond or that gold that's going through the fire.
Or there's another scripture.
Yeah, whatever it brings it out. And we're getting refined to get purified into that pure gold or that pure diamond. The funny thing is about women, man, don't ever expect a woman to be there with you through the fire. Because women do not care about a man's struggle. They don't care about what he goes through. They're just waiting at the finish line and they fuck the winner. It's that simple. So when it comes to going through hell, man, it's best to actually go through hell alone than go through it with a woman, because a woman will actually take away some of the experience that you're gaining from going through that hell. Because she's gonna like Job. Like what did Job tell his woman, man? When she said, why don't you just curse the Most High and die? And Job cursed her out, like, what are you talking about? The Most High gave us all the riches, so it makes sense that he's able to take that away.
That's right. This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
That's right. So you think we're going to be in these bodies with these jacked up bodies and get fine ass women that are supposed to be in the kingdom? Hell no. Those women that are going to be surrounded by us are going to be surrounded by us in our peak condition, man. In our prime, yeah, exactly.
It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
That's right,
okay?
man.
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
Hey man, that's how you know it's gonna be the end. Because you actually got women saying that they'll do their own shit, but they'll still be with you. And hey, today women are not like that.
No.
They want you to take care of them, want you to pay the bills, they want you to do all this for them, and they still want to enjoy the luxuries of being, the pleasures of being with you and being here.
Yeah.
Back in the end times, they're gonna be like, yo, forget all that, we'll do all that, just let us be called by your name.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna know.
Exactly, which those same women that you spoke of, that's what the scripture says, remember Lot's wife. Because Lot's wife, right,
Yeah, 100%.
though she wanted to be with Lot, she still wanted to indulge in what was happening in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
She wanted to live that lifestyle. That's why she looked back.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
She didn't want to turn away from it, right? And guess what happened to her? The Lord turned her into a pillar of salt. And she's still standing there until today, man.
Yeah,
You know? And so that's what the scripture says, remember Lot's wife, because even now, right, you know, brothers make videos saying, yo, beware. You're gonna have so-called sisters who are gonna say that they're of the truth, but they're just there, you know, to be wicked, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So you gotta be careful, man.
right.
Okay? Not every single woman that comes and says, I agree with you and this and that
Yeah.
means that they're of the elect.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
just like not every brother that says, you know,
Yeah.
or not every man that says,
Says,
Lord, Lord.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
the same thing.
Exactly.
Same
yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly, man. You know, so you have to be careful. It's very important to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very important. And it says, verse 7 in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, it says, and in that time, and in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. That's spiritual powers, right?
Spiritual
Like Flash.
power. Yeah, like Flash, yeah.
You know, being able to run like, yo, can you imagine? Like when you run, there's sparks behind you. You know how fast you're going?
Bro, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is when you watch those shows and you see these guys sprint, and like when you look from the viewpoint of the people, it's like they're like a flash. Really, you can't see them.
Yeah.
But when you look from the viewpoint of the man that has the power, everybody else is going so slow.
Exactly. It's like
Can you
they're
imagine
invincible.
fighting in that kind of state,
Yeah.
environment, man? It's
Yeah.
gonna be unbelievable.
Exactly. It's like they're so fast that you can't see them. But
Exactly.
because Esau needs to give you an idea of how fast you're going, they gotta put, you know, something in there, like
Yeah,
a flash
man.
or
Yeah.
a spark or something.
That's
you know,
right.
You know, but it goes to show you how slow the other people are,
That's right.
right?
That's right. We're gonna erupt, man, and we're gonna shine nicely, man.
Yeah.
Just like fireworks. You see that stuff? You see fireworks come out?
You know what I mean? Like there was this one video that I saw of this one Jake, you know, he fights with the sword, you know, they put the character as a goddamn Japanese or Chinese guy, but he had this spiritual power that he was able to pretty much do everything so fast, and the way that they showed you how fast he was, there was this, you know, I'm a butterfly, you know, that's like I'm a flying, but when he was looking at it, it was like the wings are going like this low, but the shit was going,
Like fluttering,
you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
fluttering like
yeah.
so fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
okay.
you know, but the way like when he was looking at it, he was like going this low.
Yeah.
And so when he was killing Cain and like, you know, and using his sword to slice men,
Yeah.
right? It was like, bro, they had no idea which direction this guy was going at.
Yeah, man.
That's his form of spiritual powers,
Yeah.
man. Can you imagine being that fast and being able to appear and disappear?
Yeah, man. Or even like the power up. You know, when you see these guys move in speed, and they move so fast, it looks like they have 5 hands.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
the after image
yeah,
of their
but it's
hands.
just one hand, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like all types of stuff, all types of power, man. Like I said earlier, man. Whatever your mind can conceive, you'll be able to do it. So really, it comes down to your imagination, man. Let that stuff run wild.
There's a reason why Esau makes these movies. It's not that, you know, it's out of the ordinary, man. It's actually, he actually visions these things, man.
Yeah.
And the Lord gives him those ideas.
Yeah.
And if the Lord gives you those ideas, that means that he can do it.
Yeah,
It's just
straight
that
up.
simple,
Yeah,
right?
straight up.
It's
Yeah.
that simple.
Yeah.
If an understanding is not given
Yeah,
unto
very
you,
true.
right, it's because you weren't supposed to receive it. But when an understanding is given to you, that means that there's a higher power out there that's actually able to do these things, man. You know, just like how we say, right? When we see these weapons that Esau uses in these movies, it's not just in the movies, it's actually somewhere that Esau created,
Yeah.
right? But in the movies, it looks unreal because we've never seen it in real life, but he actually has them built, hidden in the time of war, he's gonna use these things, man.
right.
You know, that's why, you know, like the scripture says that there's newly animals created for vengeance, right? Esau creates these fucking animals in these labs, and the Lord puts His Spirit on them. You know what I mean? And then, you know, in a time of you know, death and destruction, they will be released, and that's the same thing with weapons. You know, I have created the smith of, you know, and so on and on. You know.
That's crazy.
And it says, they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. Yahweh Bashim al-Shah is going to reign forever, and we will have dominion over the nations, man. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, the scriptures are very, very simple and, you know, and to the point. Right? And it says, they that put their trust in Him. Now again, right? Now it's funny how whenever we read about the powers, okay, it all goes, you know, it all goes hand in hand when the Lord says, "I'll give you this power or that power." It goes hand in hand with believing and trusting in the Lord.
Yeah.
Because
it's just like, yo, when you have a woman and you tell her, okay, I'll give you this, but like, you know, you can't. You're not gonna buy a woman stuff if she doesn't believe in you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Most High.
Exactly.
Because we're His woman.
Exactly. And it says, they that put their trust in Him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with Him, for grace and mercy is to His saints.
That's right.
And He hath care for His elect.
That's right, man. Faithful.
Favor for His elect.
Man. And faithful in His love. And we just read earlier that His love is keeping the commandments. That's why we don't take slack. You know, we don't count slack keeping the commandments like the rest of you Israelites do, man. The rest of you Israelites say, you're basically, your whole mentality is, if we can't keep them all, we're not keeping any. And that is laziness and selfishness and wickedness at its highest.
That's right. In the book of Matthew it says, be therefore perfect, for even as your Father in heaven is perfect.
That's right.
So that's what you gotta aim for.
That's right. You gotta aim for it, man. Because yeah, obviously you can't be perfect, but that's the point of faith. You're really, what are you saying when you say that, when you come into with the mentality that we can't keep all the scriptures, we can't keep all the commandments, so we'll keep none?
Yeah.
Basically, you're saying you don't want to have, you don't have faith at all.
Exactly. It's like almost like having a competitive nature, right? When you play a sport, you want to win every fucking game.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to win every fucking game.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter what team you are. You will not win every fucking game in your life.
Yeah, kind.
Right?
Yeah.
You will lose some.
Yeah.
But the point, that mentality, having that competitive nature tells you what? I want to win every fucking game. It's the same thing. You want to be perfect, though that it's impossible to be perfect, man.
You know? I was hearing something that to speak on what you said. I was hearing something about James Harden and LeBron James. And James Harden, man, he doesn't take any games off. It doesn't matter if they're going to play a team and they're going to blow them out by 20 or something.
Yeah.
He stays in. He plays every single minute, every single game. Basically, he's telling the league that he's getting his money worth, man.
Yeah.
LeBron, he has a different mentality, man.
Yeah, he does.
If he can take time off and relax, he will do it.
And to rest his body and drink
Rest
some
his
wine.
body and drink some wine, relax, live his happy life. He will do it. James Harden doesn't take a single game off, even though he has all the same luxuries of LeBron.
Yeah, it goes to show, the different mindsets.
Different mindsets, man.
Yeah.
LeBron's is comfortable because, an old saying, LeBron's comfortable because he's on top of the hill, but there's an old saying that the wolf on top of the hill is never as hungry as the wolf climbing it. And it's 100% true.
Yeah, chilling at the top.
You're chilling at the top. What else do you have to hunger before?
Yeah.
That's why, man, when Apostle Gabar said that, I will never forget when he said this, but he was doing a video and he said, man, you could be in this truth, 100% faith, and then be beamed up midway, lose faith and then get dropped. Yeah. And you could have just seen the cherry. You probably could have just seen the cherry open up, and you see all the brothers you're about to get up there, and all of a sudden you for some reason, because a missile was coming in your direction, you lack faith. Yeah, fuck, I'm probably gonna get hit. You get dropped, man. So you have to have faith to the very end. You can't take any breaks. You could barely take any breaks physically. You can imagine what you'd be doing taking a break spiritually.
Yeah, exactly. And it says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imagination.
Yeah.
which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord.
And that's funny, man, because you just said earlier, Esau be creating all these, weird monsters and different animals and stuff like that, and they're creating them out of their own imaginations.
Yeah.
But they're gonna die according to their own imaginations. The Most High is gonna turn all those beasts and all the technology that Esau has against them. Like Esau used technology to build safe havens and bunkers in the mountains and in the sea and even under the ground.
Yeah.
But those bunkers and safe havens are going to be used against them, because when they hide from destruction and nuclear missiles, guess who's going to be open up those doors and dragging them out with chains? The elect. So guess what? They just reserve themselves for slavery. And they will be knowing all this, and still they keep their pride at 150% towards the Most High.
Yeah. That's why it says right here, the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth,
yeah.
because they're not going to come up against us.
Yeah, man.
They're going to come up against the masses out here.
That's right. That's right.
That's
right.
And it says, oh yeah, that was it on that one. I just wanted to read that part, about the beasts. And it says back here in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, it says, but the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imagination, which they have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful, their works unprofitable.
Yo, that reminds me of Sean.
Yeah, right?
Because, man,
everything was just vain, bro.
Vain, man.
For like 2 years.
Man.
That he was out here. Just gone.
Because you know what? Like, read that actually one more time.
Come on, I got you, right?
For
whoso despiseth wisdom, whose wisdom? Sophia, which is the truth.
Yeah,
right? For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable.
That's right.
And their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable.
So why are those men miserable when they despise Sophia, wisdom, and nurture? Because with wisdom comes nurture. And when you're being nurtured, sometimes you get beat. That's a part of nurturing you.
Yeah, it's a part of growth.
It's a part of growth. Yeah. But when you're in this truth, and you can't take the nurturing that comes with understanding the truth, understanding the wisdom, then your whole life you're miserable, because you actually in your spirit that's what you need.
Yeah.
You're just not strong enough to take it.
You become a disobedient child.
Disobedient child, man. Yeah. And what's happening is you go back into the world knowing that what you left was essential for your existence, and when you go back into the world, now you go and try to you basically try to cover up what you missed out on in the truth, and compensate it with having a nice job in the world. But we can still see it in your eyes. Yeah. We can still see it in your eyes. We can see it in your bodily functions. Brothers be in the truth, they be in good shape, and they come out of the truth, they're overweight. That's a sign, man. Or you can see that their eyes, you can see that the soul, the life, that was the light, actually, rather, the light that was once within them has left. And when you look at them, it's just void. It's emptiness, man.
Yo, are you okay?
See a soul in my eyes?
Yo, man, you're better off on that side, man. Trust me. You asked him if he's okay?
Yeah, bro, because, he doesn't look right. He doesn't look right. That's why I asked him. You know what I mean?
It was so sincere, too. Like, yo, you okay?
Yeah, man, because we don't have different spirits out here.
Yeah, man. Con. That's that Isaiah, though you be stricken from head to toe.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole head is sick.
Yo, I'm reminded.
Oh, man.
I got a dirty mind.
This is laughing. That's right.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says right here, verse 12. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked.
That's right.
Their offspring is cursed.
Yep.
Wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which have not known the sinful bed.
That's right.
She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls.
That's right, man. Now it's flipping the script. We're talking about Esau, man.
I didn't see nothing.
Because in the end of the day, anything that Esau produces is wicked. Whether it be through having a child, creating something with his hands. It's just like he has, you say the Midas touch, the righteous touch, he has the wicked touch. Anything Esau does or touch becomes wicked, man.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, then you are lost beyond redeem. Because you're living in a state, you're living in a society, okay, that was once beautiful before Esau got here.
Yeah, yeah.
And they actually have, you go on Google and you look up pictures of what, okay, they do like they do what's it called? They do like before and after. They call it like imaginary pictures, where they can tell. You know how you can tell how old a tree is by his rings, his root. They can tell what this place once looked like before, with the technology Esau has, before Esau actually got here, and it was green, luscious,
Nature.
beautiful nature, colors, and flowers that are so many different colors that you don't even see now. Now, all you see is buildings, cement,
Roots coming up.
Rock. Everything is lost life, man.
Yeah. There was
The air is full of smoke,
Yeah.
dark smoke. People don't even, the people that live on the line don't even look healthy.
Yeah.
They don't even look like they're in shape or they're eating right.
Yeah. There is this one movie, where this one Edomite, anything he touches dies. Anything that he touched, it dies.
That's off of Smallville.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, yeah.
The bald guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, him, right?
That was crazy, man. Because
Yeah.
that's actually that was spiritual in the scriptures. Because
You see that Superman?
Clark's name, his Hebrew name, I guess rather, is Kal-El, which means all powerful. And Lex Luthor was basically the story of Jacob and Esau, and Yahushua and Satan.
Oh,
Yep. That's right.
Satan?
And it says, and blessed is the eunuch which with his hands hath wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. For unto him shall be given a special gift of faith, and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord more acceptable to his soul, to his mind, right?
Right.
Because when you have people who pretty much, like when it says that despise wisdom, right, their works becomes unprofitable, right? There's an opposite of that. It's better for you to not have known the ways of the truth. So when you were just a newborn, you have a fresh start, so to say, right? Like the elect men, right? The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai has a special gift of faith unto you, man. And it says, for glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the root of wisdom shall never fall away. As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of the unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. That's right, because you have some wicked people who people wonder, why does the good die young? You have some wicked people who live long, but their end is not honorable, man.
Yeah.
Okay? Their end is not honorable, so it means that at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, they were nothing. No one gives a shit about them, man.
Yeah, you got to consider. If you believe that what goes around comes around, and wicked people are living longer than righteous people, and the young die, and the good die young, well, what is he being preserved for?
Yeah.
What is he being saved for? What does karma have in store for him?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Exactly.
Why did he die?
And it says, for though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Verse 18, or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation.
Yeah, man. Horrible is the end of unrighteous generation. And then,
that was it on that chapter.
One more, chapter 5.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll read that.
verse 1.
Yeah, start at verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him,
That's right.
and made no account of his labors.
So how are you going to be doing that? How is this scripture going to be fulfilled if you got men who don't want to go out in the streets? You know, for this to be fulfilled, you have to be out here in the streets.
Great boldness.
Great boldness,
Standing.
man.
Yeah.
If you really take into consideration what we're doing, then we are speaking up against the rulers of this kingdom. In Boulder, we're not hiding our face. In contrary, we make ourselves known and seen bluntly. On top of that, not just coming out here is not even enough. On top of that, we make videos. You know what I mean? So like, there is no such thing as being a servant of the Most High and being ashamed at the same time. As some men will do. They'll be servants of the Most High in front of people, right? But behind closed doors, those guys are wicked.
Yeah.
You know, or you got guys who claim to have belief in this truth, but when they're around wicked people, they do as they do. You know?
Yeah.
And it says,
Instagram made me do it.
when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation,
That's right,
so
man.
far beyond all that they have looked for.
That's right, man. Because it is not. Apostle Dahar said it sounds strange to get a ticket, a plane ticket, and fly on a plane across the other side of the world. But it's strange to see a chariot beam people up straight from the ground, man.
Yeah, that's a
in
very
mid-air.
good point. I never heard that. That's a very good point.
It is a very good point. Because like, if you really think about going on a plane and flying across the world, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But the Most High is he said, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'll get chariots.
Style.
With style.
You know,
and beam up men that you never would have thought were going to get beamed up.
You know, it's funny. I remember Apostle Sahar was talking about in the old school they used to tell every brother to get a passport. You know, because because when all hell break loose, you know, like we're gonna get, I'm gonna delivered by the planes. You know what I mean? I used to laugh at that, bro. Like I used to laugh at that because because the understanding was not given then.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's funny because it's carnal.
Yeah, it's
right?
carnal. Yeah,
it's
man.
actually carnal.
It is. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
But to actually get beamed up by the,
that's more spiritual.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to be in your spiritual bodies, right?
You don't have to go wait in line to get a passport.
Exactly.
Get your picture taken, get scanned by Esau.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
Exactly. I used to laugh at that. Everybody needs their passport because when all hell breaks loose, that's how we're gonna get out of here.
So basically, we can buy our way into the kingdom.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which way?
And it says, verse 3.
Oh yeah, the other way.
And they repenting and groaning, for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we have sometimes in derision,
right.
and a proverb of reproach.
That's right.
We fools accounted his life madness,
right.
and his end to be without honor.
That's right, man. We are Israelites, and as Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians, we are the butt of every joke. Okay, we're the butt of every joke, and that shows you that the rest of the nations. The rest of this world doesn't respect us. They don't respect who we are. They don't respect what we don't respect our faith. But it really is because they don't. It's really because our people don't respect themselves. So being out here on the highways and byways, people look at us and see us do this, and they say, "Man, what point? What's the point of all this? There's no honor behind this. They're not getting paid. No one's out here listening to them." That's because they look through carnal eyes. They don't see through spiritual eyes. Because the Most High shut their spiritual eye, man. So therefore, all they can conceive is something that they can see. All they can conceive is something that they can touch. For us, we haven't seen salvation yet. We haven't seen it, but we visioned it. So therefore, we've seen it, but it hasn't actually happened yet.
think you guys something. You know what I mean?
Which you would have to be spiritual, man. Like that's why, yo, it is spiritual to be someone who says, like, for example, I'm gonna make it to the NBA one day and I'm gonna be the best player in the world. That it hasn't even happened yet, but for some reason, in everything that person does, in all his training regimens, and the way he plays his games, you can tell he really believes it.
Yeah.
That's a spiritual thing, man. That's spiritual to be able to do that. The same thing in the truth. In every way we are, the way we think, the way we even look. Okay, we keep our beards. We don't line up our face. You know, we don't go out getting tattoos. The way we look and the way we speak. Knowing this, the scriptures say, knowing this, what conversations ought you to have?
Yeah, in all holy conversations.
In all
right?
holy conversations,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
You know, like, if, you know, we have to go to work and deal with people who are not in the same mindset we are. With those people, man, it's a high and by. You know, quick little things. But really, our spirit gets riled up and gets excited when we're talking about real holy things, spiritual things, man.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, just how it works.
Exactly. And it's
Verse there?
verse 4 now.
Okay, come.
No, we don't smoke.
Oh, that's what I do with the Bible. Rolled it up.
All right then, man. All right.
Well-
You just got your judgment heavy.
All right, man.
I know my one brother's like, yo, that's fucked up. He went for me and he had devil horn tattooed on his brother. He's like, what? What's that fucked up? He went for you.
Anyways, it says right here, verse 6.
This is something else.
Therefore have we heard.
Oh, no, finish 4 to 6.
Oh, 4 to 6,
Yeah,
it's a lot, it's a lot
Yeah,
here.
it's all good.
Finishing the end of verse 3. It says, this was he whom we have sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, Yahweh Shai, and his lot is among the saints?
Yeah.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us.
It shows you, man, like, for the people who are on the other side of this thing, for them to know that we are of the elect and of the saints, the Most High would have had to give them the remembrance back.
Yeah.
You know, and they're gonna know now that, holy crap, then they'll know that the prophet was among them.
Yeah. Which means that they're going to know who the Israelites are.
Exactly.
Right? Because the Israelites are the saints.
That's right. 100%.
I would say it.
So was that it on that? That was
Yeah.
verse 6?
Yeah, that was
okay,
it.
so with that, we're going to close. We're going to say,
Kahala Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And death and destruction to